Welcome to Tino's Time, and on this episode, we are going to recap the MLB Divisional Round, and then I'm going to give you a preview of the MLB Championship Series, the ALCS, and the NLCS. But before we get to the NL and ALCS, let's talk about these divisional round matchups. First, we're going to start off with the National League, and we're going to talk about the two National League series. We had the Brewers, or not the we had the Brewers and Braves in the first series for the National League, and then we had the Dodgers and Giants. And as you know, the Giants and Dodgers series was the Dodgers won the NL Wild Card Series versus the Cardinals, and then the Dodgers went on to beat them, and the Giants won the NL West. So now these two get to meet in the and now they went on to meet in the NLDS. And this series was awesome. This series went so back and forth. It is actually the only series that went 5 games. All the other series only went 4 games. And last night that game was just phenomenal. Watching Logan Webb pitch, that man is going to be a stud in the MLB for a very long time, and it was just awesome. These two teams beat the crap out of each other for 5 games, and it was just awesome to see. But the Dodgers ended up getting the best of the Giants, and they ended up winning the series 3-2 after yesterday's phenomenal performance from Julio Urias, and Max Scherzer ended up coming out and winning it at the end, just like Chris Sale did a few years ago. So congratulations to the LA Dodgers for moving on to the NLCS. The other series in the National League, it was the Braves versus the Brewers. And this was another one, we talked about it on the divisional preview. I talked about how the Brewers and Braves were two of the best teams in the National League, and how they were teams that, they've been here the last few years, but they weren't the teams that, like, everybody was like, it wasn't the Padres, it wasn't the Phillies, it wasn't like, these were two teams. The Brewers dominated the NL Central all season long, and the Braves had a very tight battle, and they lost Ronald earlier in the season, but they went out and got Jock Peterson, Jorge Soler, and this series was another one. All 4 of these series were awesome. But at the end of the National League Divisional Series between the Brewers and Braves, the Braves ended up winning the series 3-1, and they are now going to move on to the NLCS. So the NLCS is set. It's the Braves versus the Dodgers. That's going to be an instant classic, and I see that series going 7 games, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now let's talk about the American League side. And the first one I want to talk about is the Red Sox versus the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays were the best team in the American League. They had home field advantage. Everybody was picking them to repeat as World Series champions. But the Boston Red Sox went into Tampa Bay. They came home to Boston, and they put on great showings. We saw a walk-off home run in 13 innings. We saw phenomenal pitching, and honestly, the Rays just did not seem to have it. And yes, they had some moments. Randy Arizona, I cannot still say his last name. It's awful. I'm so bad at it. I'm sorry. But he had a phenomenal series. The pitching staff wasn't what it was last year. They got rid of Blake Snell. They've traded they didn't trade Tyler Glasnow, but he's been on the injured list. And it was a big reason on why this series, everybody thought the Rays were going to win it. But like I said, the Red Sox just showed up, and we saw phenomenal performances from Nathan Eovaldi. We saw Kiki Hernandez do what he did on the Dodgers. We thought that was just because of the Dodgers. This man's a bad man, and he's just absolutely amazing. But in the end, the Red Sox ended up winning the series 3-1, and they knocked out the defending American League champions. And, I just cannot believe that we saw the Tampa Bay Rays exit as early as they have. I really had them going to the World Series if I didn't have the Chicago White Sox going to the World Series, and we'll talk about that series in a minute. But congratulations to the Red Sox for making it to the ALCS. But now, let's talk about that Astros versus Chicago White Sox series. And, it might seem like very biased and everything about my White Sox because I'm a diehard White Sox fan and everything. But, people can be mad. The Sox lost the first game. They didn't do very well. The Astros just dominated. And then the second game, the Astros did the same thing. They just dominated. the Sox gave up a late run in the 8th inning in the second game just to lose it, and it wasn't, the Sox were down 0-2, but last Sunday they did have a phenomenal game, and the White Sox did end up winning one game on Sunday night. It was a game that I'll never forget as a Chicago White Sox fan. The Sox got down 5-1. They came back to lead 6-5. They went on to win that game 12-6. And, I was hoping the White Sox were going to be able to come back and tie it, but it just did not happen. The Astros got the better of the White Sox. The White Sox pitching was not there. It wasn't what everybody thought it was going to be. Rodon couldn't get out of 2 innings. Giolito couldn't get out of 3 innings. Lynn couldn't do what he did all season long. And the White Sox just weren't the team that everybody thought was going to do it and thought that they were going to go farther. But the thing I have to say about that is that people that are upset about what this White Sox team has done this year shouldn't be upset at all. Because the White Sox went from being one of the most mediocre, garbage teams that went from having guys like Manny Ramirez, Ken Griffey Jr., Adam Dunn, Justin Morneau. I could just go on and on. They've had guys like Johnny Danks. I could go on and on and on. Nobody wants to listen to me rant about all these guys that the White Sox had. But as a White Sox fan, going from winning 60 games, 62, 70, 72, they went from winning all those games, all those less games, to winning the American League Central for the first time since 2008. They've played their first playoff game since 2008 in guaranteed rate, U.S. Cellular, Comiskey Park, whatever you call it nowadays. They went on and to do all these great things, and everybody could say that it's a fluke and the pitching is what it was, but this team has proven a lot, and they're only going to come back stronger and better than they did last year. Everybody is saying they went out on the same round. That's not right. They went out in the wild card round last year. They lost to the A's. We went to the divisional round, and that wasn't what we were in last year. So that's progress. It wasn't what the Chicago White Sox fans wanted, like me, and what the Chicago White Sox wanted as an organization, but they showed a lot of strides, and they did lose this series 3-1 after the Astros just demolished them on Tuesday afternoon after just putting a 10 spot on the board. They went on to win the series 3-1, and they sent the White Sox home packing. But it's okay. We're going to be black. We're going to be back, black and white. We're going to show them why we're going to be the best teams in baseball for years to come. And all you fake White Sox fans, I don't want to see you wearing any of those t-shirts, any of those hats, none of the rally towels. I want all of it back because you're such bandwagons, and I just don't appreciate it. For all you people that have been with the White Sox since day one, those are the people that I respect. But congratulations to the Houston Astros for making it to the ALCS, and that sets up the American League ALCS as the Boston Red Sox versus the Houston Astros. And these two series are going to be phenomenal. Now that we have got through the divisional round and we recapped everything that happened in that round, let's move on, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview on what I think is going to happen in the championship round, and then I'm going to give you my predictions for the World Series, and then after the championships rounds are done, your boy Tino will be back, and I will give you a preview for the World Series, and I'm going to give you the team that I think is going to take home the World Series trophy this year for 2021. But we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, and let's talk about the championship series. And the first championship series I want to talk about, let me get my breath back. Had to take a deep breath. The first one I want to talk about is the American League. And the American League starts tonight at 7 p.m. So this is coming live at 5 p.m. at Central Standard Time. So make sure you check this out. Give your boy Tino a like and a share before these games starts. Game 1 is tonight, like I said. We got Chris Sale versus Framber Valdez. Framber Valdez faced the White Sox last week. Chris Sale also pitched. He didn't have a very good series. He didn't have a very good game. His ERA is 45. That's not very good. And then tomorrow for game 2, we get to see Nathan Eovaldi that had a phenomenal series. That was a big reason on why the Red Sox won versus Luis Garcia. And Luis Garcia was the guy that pitched in game 3 for the Houston Astros that the White Sox were able to get to. So in this series, I think it's going to be it's going to be amazing games. It's not 2 games. They only announced the starters for the first 2 games of the series though. So that's all we know as of right now, just depending on what happens. The managers like to change it up, and we'll have to see what happens. But I could easily see this series going to 7 games. I don't know if it will. My prediction is going to be that it's going to go 6 games, and I'm going to take the Boston Red Sox to win this series 4-2 over the Houston Astros, and the Boston Red Sox will be going back to the World Series, and they're going to have a chance to win it, and Alex Cora is going to get his comeuppance, and he's going to beat the team that he cheated with, and he had all the bang, 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 and all the trash cans. Speaking of trash cans, I think the Astros had some trash cans in Chicago. I'm just saying over here. I am just saying. But I'm taking the Red Sox to beat the Astros. And, it's not saying the Astros can't win this series. I think the Astros are going to have a phenomenal series. It's going to be so back and forth. But I think the Red Sox are just so hot. And they always say it doesn't matter how you're playing. It matters the team that gets hot. Just like in football. You become hot, you could go all the way to the Super Bowl. So that's why I'm taking the Boston Red Sox to win this series and move on. And not even mentioning what Bogarts and all the other hitters have done. But now to the National League, and this is a series I wanted the Giants to win it so bad. Last night it was so close. The Giants had it. The Giants were going to the NLCS. The Giants were going to knock out the Dodgers, but nope, the Dodgers just said fuck y'all, and I'm just going to make it to the NLCS again. I feel like if we see the Astros and Dodgers, people, this is rigged or something's going on. I just don't know what it is. But this Dodgers and Braves series is going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see what happens. We have the Braves in game 1. We are going to see them. I'm looking at it on my phone right now. They have actually not announced the starting pitchers for the 2 games yet. So that is something that I would just keep an eye on, because I'm sure they're going to do it very soon. Probably by tonight they will, but I'm recording this at 1:41 p.m. Central Standard Time, just in case you're wondering. So, yeah. But without knowing exactly who the pitchers are going to be, I am going to go, and I'm going to say that this series is going to go at least 6 games, maybe even 7. And if it does go 7, I'm going to go with the Braves. I think that this is the Braves' year. The Braves have went through a lot of hardship. They've lost one of their best players in Ronald earlier this season. They went out and they got Jock Peterson. They went out and got Jorge Soler. They have had phenomenal pitching this season. Their starting pitchers, just everything that they've been doing as a team. It was a big reason on why they were able to beat the Brewers and why they were able to move on. And we see Freddie Freeman just continuously do his thing. And the Dodgers, of course, they're the defending champions. They're not going to go out without a fight. So that's why I'm saying that it's going to go 7 games. I kind of said 6, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go 7 with this series, and I'm going to take the Braves to win in 7. It's going to be a 4-3 series, and the Braves are going to come out on top, and that is going to set up the World Series as the Atlanta Braves versus the Boston Red Sox for me. Those are my predictions for the World Series. Boston Red Sox versus Atlanta Braves. And if that's the case, that would be such an interesting series to watch, because that's something that we have not seen. The Braves have not been in it since I could remember. I can't even remember the last time the Braves were in the World Series. Red Sox have been in it. They won it a few years ago, but we've seen the Astros consistently between the Yankees. I was hoping my White Sox were going to be able to get it done, but I had a feeling whoever won, I thought if the Astros did beat the White Sox, I thought that they would be able to beat the Rays. But, the Red Sox are just so hot, so I can't go up against them right now. So that's why I'm taking the Red Sox. So like I said, before I just continue to ramble on, I'm taking the Boston Red Sox versus the Atlanta Braves in the 2021 World Series. So I hope everybody, there you have it. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I got my words mixed up there for a minute. My bad. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I hope these 2 series, if you're a Boston fan, an Astro fan, Braves fan, Dodger fan, whatever you are, congratulations that your 4 teams are still alive. My team sadly is not. It's okay. White Sox will be back better than ever. I cannot wait to see what happens in the championship series. I just cannot believe that we're almost at the end of baseball season. Baseball season felt like it just started a few months ago, but we're almost at the end of it, and I cannot wait to see how these 2 series go and who makes it to the World Series. So until we know the World Series matchup and until we know all the teams and what's going on and who's playing for the trophy, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Remember to go follow at TinoTime1996 on Twitter, at TinoTime10 on Instagram, Tino Time Wrestling for all you wrestling freaks and geeks out there. Make sure to go follow at Tino's Time Wrestling to get ready for Crown Jewel. We got Survivor Series coming up in a few months. Got to make sure to go check out all my fantasy football advice for all you fantasy football freaks and geeks out there too. Everybody's freaks and geeks out here in Tino's world. But I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Remember to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and help your boy Tino out. And until the NLCS and the ALCS is over, this is your boy Tino signing out.